Hey, this is Y.I.S Blaq, and please excuse me. I look a little rough. I haven't been too long. Got off from work, but I had a thought that I wanted to share. Um, my neighbor has she has a truck, a Ford, but on the back of her truck, the words "Black Lives Matter" are written. And I drove up the other night and I said, "Who? Wow, that's deep." See, the question is that I had when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement is who? Who does it matter to? I have nothing against the Black Lives Matter movement. I understand that it's an organization, it's a movement that was started um, primarily because of the police brutality on the Black men and women in the United States. And the one thought I want to share with you guys is when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, who do Black Lives Matter to? Now I know that some of us would say, "Well, come on, brother, don't bash the movement. We're trying." And I'm not here to bash. I'm not angry. I'm not here to attack, but I am here to share some awareness that I had. And one of the things that was so deep was when you talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, who is that really geared towards? Is the Black Lives Matter movement really geared toward upliftment of us? Or is it more so geared towards those that we would consider the Caucasian society, the white society? Was that movement created to make them understand that our lives matter? And one of the rationales, or one of the things that I was meditating on was, how can we really expect any other people to recognize that Black Lives Matter if we don't recognize it within ourselves, within our own community, within the communities that we inhabit? Because we own nothing here. Nothing belongs to us. So in the communities that are predominantly Black, that are inhabited by those of the same hue as me, if we don't recognize that Black lives matter, then how can we expect anyone else to recognize that Black lives matter? How can we? It's not fair. We want the powers that be to recognize the fact that all Black lives matter, because we're tired of being murdered by the hands of those who hold a certain power over us. So Black lives matter. So what we have done is we've taken the fact of Black lives mattering and put it in a little box. We put it in a little box. And in that little box represents the death toll of those who are of the same hue as me and you that may be watching. And we've taken that movement and only seem to have structured it to fit in that box. But can the Black Lives Movement be extended to those who are still living? Does not the Black Lives Movement, can it not also apply to the education structure of our youth? Can it not apply also to the communities that we inhabit? Because here's the thing. We expect the powers that be to recognize that Black Lives Matter. But during the George Floyd's, during the with our brother George Floyd, when he was murdered, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. It was murder. But in Cincinnati, we protested. And in the midst of protesting, we, destroyed some things. Hello. We destroyed some things. But during the time of that weekend of the protest, guess what we did? Or guess what happened, so to speak? There were, if I'm not mistaken, 4 murders that weekend in predominantly Black communities or predominantly lower income communities. Yeah, murders. Where were the Black Lives Matter marches for that? Now, I'm not saying that the movement hasn't made certain strides, but what I am saying is that in order for Black lives to truly have any type of credence, we have to realize that Black lives matter within the communities that we live in. Black lives do not just matter when they're taken by the hands of the so-called powers that be. Black lives should matter, period. And what we also have to realize is this isn't our land. This isn't our country. We weren't brought here to be part of this democracy or even to be part of this republic. We were brought here to work and to build up things that were stolen by others. So when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, let us also realize that when it comes to the Black Lives Mattering, no one is going to love you like the Most High, Yah, and yourself. You have to love the Creator and then love. And by doing that, you're showing love to yourself. That's a thought that I just wanted to share. And I want us to think about that. And if this happens to come on through anyone's feed, or if someone just happens to be browsing YouTube or Facebook and see me speaking, I want you to think about this. Should Black lives only matter when they're taken? Or should Black lives matter while they're still in existence? So with that, I say I thank you for your time. For those that's listening, that were listening, Brother Billy, hey, how you doing, brother? But that's all. Just wanted to share that thought with you so that we can understand that Black Lives Matter, period. Praise the mighty Yah. Peace.